Hi, Mekhi. First of all, how are you doing?
Hey, what's happening? Pleasure. Life is good. I can't complain, you know?
I know I've seen that you've been acting. I mean, you've been going you're currently acting in two shows. You've been
Hmm.
acting for since you were 19 for 27 years.
Right.
And I love that for you. I was wondering because I'm like, he's been acting for so long. Like, does he even, because I saw that you don't even remember like some of the roles that you've had, but what is your favorite role that you have
Oh,
done?
well, it's funny when you say that, because I always say it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Um, it's hard to say because all of the roles have sort of given me different pieces of pride, if you will.
Mhm.
So there's not one favorite one. There's it's hard to say that, because at the end of the day, you get fulfillment from so many different pieces of work that you do or that I do, that one does, that when you've had, almost 30 years into the game, 3 decades, that, everything brings something different. So it's like my favorite pieces is always the ones that I'm working on at the time, you
Mhm.
know. But I like all of them. I
Yeah.
think that, I've been able to, have a good time, transcend through all of those different, various outlets. And it's touched so many audiences and demographics. So,
Abs-
there's not just one, so it's hard to say. I loved all of them.
Absolutely. So I just let you know I binged, of course, truth be told.
Oh,
And
that's lovely. I'm glad you did that. I
I did.
appreciate that love.
So let's talk about this current role that
Uh-huh.
you're Marcus Kilbrew, ex cop I gathered from the show.
Uh-huh.
But I want to know, because here's the thing that I noticed is the complexity between Marcus's character and Poppy, right?
Right. Hmm.
Um, it he's still in love with her. Let's just be
Hmm.
clear. Let that truth
You,
be told.
uh,
Um, so as if you knew Marcus like as Mekhi, you knew him, what would you tell him as a friend of how to navigate this complexity? Would you be like, oh, that's cool that you still in love, or like, dog, you need to keep it moving?
well, the love is complex. It's not so much that, he's like infatuated in love, but I think that he loves her. You got to understand the history of the Scovilles and the knock and the whole motorcycle club and Shreve and the history
Hmm.
that they all have together. And I think that history is 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 something that you can't just let go of. And I think that him, wanting to protect her, wanting to be there for her, wanting to be there for the family, are all things that drive his passion
Hmm.
for wanting to be not just a part of her life, but a part of all of their lives. And so it's not an infatuating love. Obviously, he knows that she's married, and then now I'm back, in season two, or I'm back with my ex-wife and back in the house with my ex-wife and my daughter, and so it's a very complex sort of love. It's not as simplistic as I love you and let me just count the ways and let me court you. It's not that. I mean, there's always that tension in the air, but
Hmm.
then there's also the complexities of the things that are being brought to the table, because he is also a natural investigator as well. And he's a former officer of Oakland police department, and so he loves his job too. He loves what he does. He loves getting to the bottom of things and getting, and helping solve the case. So it's a very complex relationship.
It really is, because at the same token, Marcus is he's risking it all for
Right,
Poppy in certain times and things that she's asking him to do.
right,
So that's why because at one point I said, watching it, it's like she has two husbands, you know?
right, right. And believe
She's
me, my wife doesn't appreciate it, and neither does her husband.
right. So it's just like, I mean, even though her husband, we could tell that he doesn't appreciate it, he accepts it. That he
Mhm,
accepts you being a part, or Marcus's, your character being a part of her life. So that's
mhm.
why I was saying, how, as a friend, how do you even tell Marcus, like, you may need to back off, man, or this is it's so complicated that it may be better to walk away. But it seems as though Marcus can't, you know?
Right. Well, and it's not even and it's not even so much that Marcus can't walk away. It's that also Poppy wants him there,
Mm,
and Poppy's a very strong individual and very headstrong and very strong in her stances, and believe me, her husband, Ingram, he's telling her to stop this thing, which is basically sort of a passive aggressive way of saying, "Look, stop hanging around Marcus."
right,
But he can't just come out and just say it, because she's like, "No, I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. I'm a career woman myself. I'm a strong woman, and this is what I'm doing." So he has to sort of dance around it a little bit. Ingram has to dance around it a little bit to sort of try to convince her to not do this. But she's obviously going to do what she's going to do.
right. Before I go, because I only have a few minutes left, I wanted to
So,
know, so the title of the show is Truth Be Told.
mhm.
So from Mekhi Phifer, what is a truth that can be told?
um, a truth that can be told is I love doing what I do. I love delving into these characters. I love being a part of great production, working with great A-list people. Really love, delving into these characters and really being a force to be reckoned with. When I'm in a scene with somebody. So that's an absolute truth.
All right. I love that truth. Thank you so much for your time
No,
today.
thank
I,
you.
I love every role that you're in. I love to
Thank
see
you.
that
I
you are
truly
still
appreciate that.
working. And congratulations on future endeavors. And it was great
Thank
talking
you.
to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Takia.
No, thank you. Bye.